Well, hello, welcome back to GearHeadGeeks, where in this video we're going to do something a little bit different. We're going to do a ride and review of my little 1967 Yamaha Twin Jet 100 YL1-E. The E stands for electric. When I was a kid, my first motorcycle was one of these. It was a blue electric start, exactly the same as this bike that we're going to be showing you, but this one's red. I About 10 years ago, I just always had a soft spot for the little Yamaha 100. Always wanted one, and finally we found one down in LA. Went down, grabbed it, brought it back, and it was very, very rough. It did run, but the rest of it, the seat foam had turned to dust. It was rusty, the tank was rusty, everything just needed to be redone. So I went on and completely restored this bike. So let's we'll take a look at it and just go along for the ride. So here we have our little Yamaha 100, and we'll take a look at it. And this guy is just as pretty as you can imagine. Little 100cc engine, twin cylinders, twin carbs. Electric means electric start, because that's what it was. But as you can see, this thing has been well restored. I had the pipes re-chromed, I had the tank re-chromed. I repainted it, obviously, because it's nice. The seat was junk when I got it, and so I cut some foam and reupholstered it. And we have the auto lube system on it. You don't mix gas and oil on these. Everything on it is in really, really good shape. Now, the turn signals are LED. They're not stock. They're not the stock style, but they kind of match the tank, so I kind of like those. And I'm a stickler on being seen, and the LEDs are nice and bright. Taillight is all perfect. All the wheels are perfect. They got little skinny tires on it, but everything's in nice, beautiful shape. They don't have a front brake light switch. They only have a rear. That's just the way they were. But, you know, it's just the way it is. And in this one, the E's had a chrome fender for the most part. And the ones without the electric starts usually had a two-tone paint job. It would be like black or a regular blue or something of that nature. And it would then have a silver fender in the back and a silver fender. But the E version had a chrome fender, and these cool little mud guards on there, which they were really hard to find. And it has a little mud guard on the back. It says Yamaha. This guy is really nice. It's like riding a bicycle with an engine. It really is. These shocks are pretty much worthless. They have springs in them, but the damping is pretty horrible. The front suspension is pretty close to being horrible, but it is what it is. I mean, it's a 1967 motorcycle. It's got a good horn on it. It's other than that, I put an LED bulb in here, and that seems to really help a little bit. All the levers and everything are in nice shape. They're all basically original. The one thing I've done, and I guess I'll show you this in a little bit, I got rid of the points in this thing and put an electronic ignition, and I'll take out that cover and let you take a look at it. But there it is in all its glory. It is a pretty little motorcycle. And as you can see, it's only got about 3,400 miles on it, which is believable. It's actually, the bike was kind of rusty when I got it because it had been sitting around for all the years, but in reality, it really wasn't worn out at all. I mean, I did replace all the seals in the crank, including the center one, which is a Laban seal. Got new seal on the left, new seal on the right. I boarded out one size with new keystone pistons and rings. So that's all fresh. These little carburetors are, they could be better. On this, they're only 15 millimeter carburetors, and these have seen better days. They were pretty chewed up when I got them. The floats were all messed up. I've cleaned them all up, made them nice, put new floats in them, and they do seem to work fairly well. But over time, these have a tendency, there's little phenolic seals in here, and those seals, they get old and it vibrates, so you have to kind of work them a little bit to get them to seal up fairly well. And then it's iffy for the most part, but you do the best you can with what you got. Okay, I have removed the cover, and as you can see, there's no points in there. There's just these two pickups, and what I had done is taken a KZ1000 or Z1 electronic ignition, made a new little backing plate, and then took the magnet that rotates in there, and it almost fit over the advance unit, and I just kind of ground it out a little bit. And then what I did is on the back side of the cam where the points never touch, I drilled a little tiny V hole in there, not all the way through, just enough to allow a set screw to go in so that that point cam can never move. And it has been working beautifully. Getting rid of the points is a good thing, because these points were, after 50 years, the condensers get problematic, yada yada. So anyway, it's got an electronic ignition and it works extremely well. Okay, let's take this little guy for a ride. And it gets a little loaded up from when you first start it up. It's just like any two-stroke. So we're going down a hill, and this thing has got a 4-speed transmission. The shift pattern is all down, 4 down, kind of like a MotoGP bike, except without all the gears. So we're going up a fairly steep hill here, and you put it in 4th gear, which it is now, and you can see it bogging down a little bit. We're at 5,000 feet altitude, so this thing doesn't have as much power up at this altitude that it would at sea level, but it does pretty well. So we're climbing the hill, and it's doing okay. For 4th gear to pull, it needs to be revving pretty high. I mean, the power band is kind of up there, so it doesn't have a lot of low-end torque. I mean, it's only a 100cc for crying out loud. So anyway, we're getting ready to turn onto the highway, and the good part is this highway is a really good downhill. We'll be able to get this little guy going. So here we go. Get it accelerating, watch out for traffic when we merge in, the guy's moving over. And here we go. We're gonna start merging in, and let's get over into the left lane. And here we go. It's doing fairly well. The speedo's moving right up there. It's a little hard to see because the cable's in the way where the camera is, but here we go. And yes, it's an indicated 72 miles an hour. How is that for a little 100? And you can hear it's wound up pretty good, but it's doing quite well. This thing is just the neatest little bike, and the sound is just amazing. A two-cylinder twin two-stroke sounds really, really cool, at least in my opinion. Okay, so we'll get down here, and it drops off, and it just idles it just purrs like a kitten down here, and it is just absolutely a sweet little bike. Okay, we'll just fast forward our way because I'm heading down to a bike night, but the brakes on this thing aren't bad. I mean, it's a little motorcycle. It's got small hubs. They're just regular drum brakes. Drum brakes aren't all that terrible, but this thing stops pretty well. It will surprise you. The rear brake is strong. The front brake's fairly strong, so it's just not too bad to ride.
Especially since I don't have the house radio, so yeah. Why wouldn't you? And the other thing too is that
And here's my friend's bike. This is a really nice bike. Another friend. Yes, for when you really need horsepower.
Better show your buddy where the fuel is on the petcock, because he couldn't get it. Got it started, and then he went down around the corner and ran out of gas again.
Oh yeah.
No, back is closed, front is all the way reserve, down is full tank. Right?
Oh yeah. This one's off on reserve.
Yeah, right on.
See you, man. Have a good one.
Yeah, right safe.
So we're heading out, and I'm going to have to pull out into traffic, and I'm going to try and not get run over here. Yep. And yeah, I don't have all the horsepower I normally have here, so I thought better of pulling out in front of that. Okay, now we're cooking. 100 is just screaming along. It's so nice. The little thing just works so well. Easy on the brakes, no problem at all. We have to make sure that we use the rear brake. I'm a rear brake user, but you have to make sure you use the rear brake so the stoplight will work. So. Takes off from a stoplight fairly well. It's just so much fun, you know. You can wind these things up, and you're not going fast enough where you're not, you're not having a ticket. I mean, my other street bikes are really fast in first gear. I mean, my H2 will do almost 100 miles an hour in first gear. But this, you just wind it up and you're barely doing the speed limit. So you can just kind of ride and shift and do all sorts of fun stuff. And you have to be a little bit more diligent when moving out into traffic. It's not, it's just not the fastest thing in the world, but hey, wind it up and get it going, and it does okay. And we'll just go on ahead and head on home. Wind up. This is fairly flat, and we'll just again head on back. And we have to be careful of traffic. It's just such a pleasure to ride this thing. It really is. The sounds that it makes, and everybody is looking at you and giving thumbs up, and it's one of those bikes. It's just it's a little noisy, and it's especially smoky when it after it's been sitting for a while, but it clears up fairly well. It doesn't do anything bad. The suspension leaves a lot to be desired, but it actually turns fairly nicely. I mean, the little tires are just little tires. What do you expect, but it cruises along nicely. It runs super smooth. It's just as nice as it can be. Look at those mirrors. They're just as clear and as nice as you can possibly get. And it's fairly comfortable. The handlebars rise up enough so you're in a very good seating position. I reupholstered the seat with some foam, and the foam could be better, but it's not bad. It could use a little stiffer foam. One of the things also that I did was on these old bikes, the turn signal switch was on the right-hand side and the high-low beam was on the left. I swapped those around so that the turn signal switch is on the left-hand side, and then the high-low beam is on the right. It makes it a little bit easier. That way you don't have to think about it, for signaling. Because I like, you do want to be able to signal without thinking about it. Shifting is easy. It's one thing, like you said, you're winding it up a little bit, and we're barely doing 15 miles an hour. It is just so much fun to ride. You're just you're riding, you're shifting, and you have to be aware of traffic, But again, here we're going. We're 25, 35 miles an hour, and very little brake pressure, no problem at all. Again, it idles down nicely, and off you go. And you gotta push it a little bit. Now, if you weigh 120 pounds like I did when I first had one of these, boy, it's a lot more peppy. But I'm not 120 pounds anymore. I'm more like 160. So it's working a little harder with this 9 horsepower. The one problem that you have with all of these little tiny bikes, especially in the modern age, is stoplights. This particular stoplight I'm coming up to, when I'm riding a little bike, it does not see me. And so you stop and you wait for the light, and you will wait forever until another car comes up. And as you can see, there's nobody behind me, whatever. I'm just gonna go. It just won't wait for me. And it's a green light going the other way, so it's not like I'm doing anything really weird. I just can't deal with it. And the next one does the same thing. So anyway, we'll just head on home, and it will just enjoy the ride. This is a really nice night. It's probably about 82 degrees, and it's just super pleasant, and it just reminds me of being a kid riding around in these areas. And at the moment, I'm climbing a really steep hill. It's in third, and I have to keep it wound up pretty well. Again, this is at 5,000 feet. So the little bike does struggle a little bit sometimes with it, but it is what it is, and it makes it even more fun. You just have to, you're out there riding. And this goes downhill a little bit, so now you can see it accelerates pretty quickly with that. Now we have to be careful, we're not here to break the speed limit. But again, you're wound up pretty good, and we're just barely at the speed limit. And we're almost home here, just going up one of the streets that kind of connects up to the house. Again, that's a fairly steep hill. This is on a steep hill, actually. Good if you have to start a motorcycle, but hey, we made it, no problems. Everything was just absolutely flawless, and just as nice as it could be. We'll get the door to open, and in we go. All sorts of motorcycles. Here, our little ride is over. That was a successful trip. Super nice. And there you have it. A wonderful little trip down to Bike Night and back, about a 30-mile round trip. Completely enjoyable, flawless ride. All we had to do is hit the electric starter and go. The thing gets like, I guess you can get up over 100 miles to the gallon or something like that. But I kind of ride it a little bit harder than that, so it doesn't get that kind of mileage. But anyway, it was a sweet trip, and I hope you enjoyed this little video of our 67 Yamaha. When I was a kid, this was the first bike that I had, except for it was blue. And having grown up here, it's the same roads I used to ride when I was a kid, so this feeling of deja vu. And I just love this little bike, and I will keep it for the rest of my life. I have no intention of selling it or doing anything else with it other than riding it, and it is just a pleasure. I just enjoy riding it. So anyway, thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and we will see you next time here on GearHeadGeeks.